Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Summer, and to all of you that keep coming back, hello and welcome back. A quick reminder, if you've never subscribed, just to remind you to click that red button there that says subscribe, and after that click the bell sign, that way you get a notification whenever I upload a new video. So in today's video, I'm back in my garden. I really like making videos in my garden because I don't know, but I find that whenever I'm in my garden, I'm very calm and relaxed, and I like making videos in my garden. And I think this is one of those videos that I like to make in my garden because my garden has this effect of making me really calm and relaxed. I really want to, over time, you know, share with people why gardening is such a good thing, you know, why gardening is such an important thing for your, you know, for your well-being, your mental health and everything. I know I've talked about my garden here and there, and I'm hoping with time I'll be able to convince more of you of the beauty of gardening. You know, there are a lot of things in this world that money can buy, but there are things that money cannot buy. Can you just listen to the birds? No matter how rich you are or how poor you are, you can hear that sound. Okay? And when it comes to gardening, right? Gardening, even the poor man can afford a garden. That's the fact. You know, it doesn't have to be a big garden or whatever. Even people that live in apartments, you can have a small garden in your apartment. It doesn't even have to be a lot of plants. It can be few plants. You know, even in the poorest places, you still find people go somewhere and they find a plant and they put it in their own garden. It is such a natural, free thing. Even if you go to garden shops and you ask them for maybe some of their plants that are almost dying, that they want to throw away to give you for free, they will give it to you. There is something about garden that it just brings, is this peace it brings. Let me tell you guys something else. I'm a nurse, okay? I'm a nurse, and I see people die. And you know, I've worked in places where people are being born, and I've worked in places where people are dying. There's nobody that's dying that would say, I want to wear my designer clothes, or give me my designer clothes, or I want to get into my private jet. No, some people would say they would like to smell rose one more time. And there are people that would say, I wish I could go into my garden one more time. There are actually people that keep a picture of their beautiful garden next to them while they're dying. There are people that would say, get me a plant from my garden. I want it by my side. You know, I'm using that as an example, just to show people what really matters in life. Nobody's going to be asking for their private jet when they're dying. I think I've gone a bit off track, but I wanted to bring us back into the idea of what happiness means and what really matters in life. So that's that. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about Suleman's private jet. And some people said he's borrowed, some people said he bought, whatever, you know. And you see, I keep getting videos. Somebody sent me, oh, Summer, have you seen this? Have you seen this? And that's something he does not realize. Some of you may not have watched the video that Suleman made that he addressed to us, the bloggers. And I'm not going to talk about that one in this video. He said, we watch his videos. We're always watching, and we are his press secretary. That's what he said. Well, obviously, I've always told you guys that these people watch our videos. I've always said it, but, you know, some people think you're just saying these things. And anyways, now we know, we've confirmed that he watches YouTube videos. He does, okay? And then something else I wanted to say is, we don't go looking for your videos, Suleman, since we know you're watching. You know, we don't go looking for these videos. Most of the time, people send them to us. And another thing they do not know, a lot of these people, is, you know, you have a cleaner, you have gardeners, you have whatever you have a driver, you have maids, and all these people living with you. And a lot of the time, the information that bloggers get come from people that you have among you. That's the fact. That is the fact. There is, for the fact that you have so many people, even the so-called people that are bodyguards, if I can use that, your ushers, your choir, whatever. No blogger goes to a church to go collect a video. It is what we see on the internet. It is what people share. We don't go looking for these things. They come to us. Like, I have sent so many videos the last few days about Suleman, and I have been so busy I didn't get a chance. Even now, I just wanted to quickly make this video. I'm going to have a very busy day today, and this is morning time. I just thought to myself, quickly make this video because I won't have the time to make this video later. So I just, you know, but there are so many requests. You know, what do you think about this? A lot of the time, bloggers, vloggers, whatever, they get these things thrown at them. So we don't go looking for your videos. We don't. Now that said, so before I talk about the private jet, borrowed or bought or whatever it is, let me tell you guys this story. I watched one video once on YouTube. I'll see if I can find it so I can link it in the description box so you guys can check it out. And it was this kind of like Indian village where there are very poor people, very, very poor people. And so they talked about how, you know, they're poor, they are suffering and everything, and there were a lot of Christians. And so there was a particular time they told them there was this minister that was coming, and their lives are going to change. He's going to come and bring a change in their lives. They're going to come out of poverty. Their lives will be transformed. And everybody got excited. Everybody was looking forward to meeting this minister. And finally, this minister came. This minister flew in a private jet, and flew in a private jet, and flew in a helicopter into their village, landed, and people were trooping. All of a sudden, you know, they felt there was hope. They're going to come out of their poverties. You know, this minister is going to come and their lives are going to change. Those are the things they were promised. And they were excited that finally something is about to change in their lives. Okay. And this minister came and they had a massive crusade. And it was outdoor. And, you know, I hope my memory is not failing me. It was outdoor and people, it was a big crowd. Outdoor crusade and everything. Asked them to give their offerings and their deeds and their that, sow seed for this and whatever, and people were given. They gave the little that they had. They gave. Okay. At the end of the day, the minister got into the helicopter and flew away. Okay, and flew away with all their money. Right. Few months passed, 1 year passed, and a long time later, these people looked back and realized what has just happened. This so-called minister that flew into the country to come and get them out of poverty only ended up coming to make them even poorer. He had a private jet. He flew in a helicopter into the middle of these poor people, okay? And he took the little that they had. And at the end of the day, he flew in with all his money that he already had to be able to even fly in to this middle of nowhere. And he took from the people, took from the poor people, and he flew away. And at the end of the day, the people realized that they have just been robbed. They were the poor ones. They didn't have the private helicopters or private jets. But this wealthy minister flew in and flew away with the little that they had. He flew in with all that he already has. And at the end of the day, flew into their small village, flew into their small community, and took the little that they had. And he flew away with the little that they had. He didn't contribute to the community in any way. He didn't do anything for the people of the community. Nothing. He took away from the community and he left. He didn't say to them, take this and build a small school for your children. He didn't say, take this and look after the widows. He didn't say, use this. No, he didn't leave that money behind for them to help the community. What did he do? He took the little that they have to make himself richer, but they got poorer. Okay? You know, some people expect God is a miracle worker. God is not a magician. Okay? We have brains for a reason. Okay? When Jesus had his crusade, he fed thousands. He fed thousands. He fed thousands. But these days, these people come and they take from the poor. And there is a change. The money changes hands from the poor to the rich. And the rich are getting richer while the poor stayed poorer. Jesus went to crusade and he fed the multitude. Jesus fed the multitude. What are these people doing? I'm just, you know, my videos is here to open people's eyes. Okay? That is all. Hello? Who is the example of this your so-called men and women of God? Who is their example? You know, some of you don't like us to talk about them. Let me tell you something you have to realize. Some of you worship them and you see them as gods. You know, I don't. Okay? I don't. Even the true people of God, okay? The true so-called men of God, true ministers of God should know this. At the last day, what is God going to say? Well done, you good and faithful servant. Good and faithful servant. Servant. That is what they should be. That is what they are. Servants. Servants. They are to serve. They are to serve the people. Is that happening today? Is that happening today? It's not. The apostles, I've told you guys several times about how in the times of the apostles, when they took offerings from people, they distributed to everyone according to their needs. The time of Jesus, Jesus wanted to own the most expensive things in the world he could have. In the time of Jesus, there were chariots and there were chariots and horses and castles. Jesus didn't have any. Jesus didn't. Let me tell you this. I'm not saying that a man of God, a pastor, should be poor and suffering. No, that's not what it is. But when a pastor's life is so high up and the people that he's supposed to be serving are down there, ask yourself, what Christianity are they practicing? Thank God not all of us are brainwashed. He's made videos threatening bloggers, okay? And he talked about how whatever he was talking about, I'm going to address that video. I'm going to show you guys that video. And he was talking about how, he was talking about how somebody channel was deleted or whatever. By the way, the lady thought that the video she made about Suleman was how her channel was deleted. But later YouTube explained to her why her channel was deleted. And that was what it was. It wasn't Suleman. But Suleman thinks his name or whatever, I don't know, he feels like his name is the reason why the channel was deleted. And he's talking about these bloggers have no source of income or whatever. Well, I don't think he's talking to me. I have a job. But these bloggers, and he said, if I get their channels deleted, they won't be able to have source of livelihood. If I got the channels deleted, they won't have any means of livelihood. He said that in one breath. Thank God I have a job, okay? Thank God I have a job. But like those that are actually bloggers, full-time bloggers or vloggers, he said he can send his choir to get their channels deleted. He can get his choir to report their channels and to delete it. This man does not know how YouTube works, okay? YouTube does not just delete your channel because some people are complaining. That is not how it works. YouTube delete your channel if your videos are against their guidelines. Making a video to talk about how corrupt pastors or politicians are is not against YouTube guidelines. It's not. For his church members to come and report a channel to be blocked, they will have to tell lies and claim that these people have made videos that are against YouTube guidelines. So that's all it has to do. So that means this man is planning to get his church members to come and tell lies, okay? Lies is a sin. And let me tell you another thing is he's not even planning to come and do it himself. Come and do this thing which is a sin himself. He's going to send other people to come and sin by reporting channels and claiming channels are against YouTube guidelines. That's it. YouTube, you have to pick. If you want to report your channel, you have to pick among the options. What the video has done wrong. And somebody making a video and speaking about corrupt pastors, corrupt politicians is not against YouTube guidelines. I just want people to think about these things. These are supposed to be the good and faithful servants, but they are not serving. They are not serving. At the end of the day, God will not be saying, oh, you good and faithful GO, you good and faithful apostle, or you good and faithful pope, or good and faithful pastor. No. Good and faithful servants. Are they serving the people? I don't want to say things that are too complicated. I want to say the basic things that are just, that would make you think. Okay? Now, before I forget, there was a time way back where Suleman had this thing about saying that buying a private jet is not his priority. It was all over social media, and it was on Naira land as well. And he was like, no, private jet is not his priority. He's looking after the poor and the widow and all of these things. And down the road, we don't know if he borrowed it, but let's say he bought it, right? So down the road, all of a sudden, there are no more poor people in his church. There are no more widows that needs to be helped. And now, all of a sudden, the man that said that the poor are the priority, all of a sudden, it's no longer so. He has bought himself a private jet. I don't want to go too much into that, but what I want to focus on is, because I always tell people, when something happens, ask yourself, what is there for me? What is there for me to take away? I'm going to address these other videos some other time because there's so much I want to talk about. But you have to ask yourself, in every situation, what is there for me to take away? I want to make this video, most importantly, to begin to keep showing people you have to know who is a true man of God. That is one. And secondly, let's start finding the real meaning of happiness. Don't ever look at people and be like they have private jet and see it as a proof that they have amazing lives, and let it be something you admire. No, get to know what real happiness means. Let me tell you, there are some people that have private jets and they don't sleep well at night, but it is somebody that has a regular house and they sleep like a baby at night. One second he's talking about how they depend on blogging for livelihood, and then he said he feels sorry for them, that's why he's not going to attack them. And then the next minute he says he can just send this choir to attack them, attack them and shut down their channels. He says all that all of a sudden, and then the next thing he talks about how he says they are frustrated. Life has dealt with them. Life has dealt with them. This is a man of God. If life has dealt with people, is that something you should laugh about? He laughed. Life has dealt with them. That's what he said. I don't know about other bloggers. I 100%, I put my hands up and say life has dealt with me. I have made a lot of videos. My life is almost like an open book. All this. Life has dealt with me. I need to go out shortly. So life, I can put up my hand and say, life, cry. Life has dealt with me. I have made videos that talk about I have suffered. I was born into wealth. My father was stinkily rich. My father built a spectacle. I've made videos that my father was so rich, like he built the biggest house ever in my village. His house was a mansion. It is a mansion. The house is still there. Massive, big mansion, 2-story building. There were no story buildings in my village when my father built his house. He was the richest man in town, and we were born into wealth. And I have made videos explaining how we dropped from that to real poverty, where drinking of gari was luxury at my house. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm not ashamed to say it. I have seen poverty, so I've made videos about my life, ups and downs. I've made videos about how I've backslidden in the past, where I did backslide in the past. There were times when I've got fed up with the church thing. I'm like, it's not working. If it's working, why am I starving? Why am I hungry? I have seen ups and downs. I've made video about how I have ended up in a very rich environment. I've made a video about how I ended up in a bachelor's house. I have seen wealth and I have seen poverty, and I can tell you that at the end of the day, money is not everything in life. There are some basic things in life that the poor man can afford. That is what matters in life. Let me tell you guys some things, important things in life. From my personal experience of experiencing poverty and experiencing wealth, important things in life, food to eat is so important, especially if it can be good quality food. Buy yourself a comfortable pillow. I'm being honest. These are the things that I apply in my life. A comfortable pillow. I do not play with my pillows. I want my pillows comfortable. When I lay my head at night to sleep, I want to be comfortable in my bed. Get yourself a comfortable mattress if you can afford it. I do not play with. I have a comfortable mattress. You know what? I sleep on it every single night, apart from the nights when I do my night shift. But that is where my comfort is. Plant a garden. Let me tell you, therapeutically, for your mental health, for your, this mental well-being, apart from the physical well-being and all that kind of, there's something about your mental well-being. How to, watch a plant. I'm going to make videos about this things, to put a seed in the ground and see it grow. Some of you do not know how beautiful that is. There are little things in life that are so important. You don't have to have a private jet to be happy. And don't let all these people, my fear is people look at all these people and think that is the target in life. These are the people that are supposed to set examples. No, they don't set good examples. They come and they show earthly wealth and all these flashy things that has nothing to do with spiritual life. I've said it several times. If your pastor's life is all about promoting financial growth rather than spiritual growth, begin to ask the question, which Jesus are they preaching about? Jesus led a simple life. Jesus led a simple life. I've never said anybody needs to be poor. What I'm saying is that shouldn't be you. That shouldn't be the measurement of your Christian faith. That shouldn't be your focus. At the end of the day, let me tell you, at the end of the day, I have seen rich people die and I have seen poor people die. Don't waste your energy and your life chasing shadows. Look for what really matters. There are many rich people that do not sleep well at night. I don't want to make this video too long because, like I said, I have to go out. Glad these things are happening, because sometimes it takes, when these things happen, this is what opens people's eyes more and more. When he a while back said, oh, he's not interested in private jets because he's more interested in looking after the poor, and down the road 2019 he's allegedly after getting a private jet. Think about these things. You know, like I always say in a lot of my videos, ask yourself in every situation, what is there for you to take home? And I'm hoping that in this video, that anything you can take out of this video is to realize that there's no pastor that is a God. No, they are not the benchmark, the ones to set the standard. Jesus is the one to set the standard. The Bible is the dictionary for your Christian faith, not your pastor's life. They would always go up and down. Even me, I have gone up and down. There's been times when I have backslidden in the past. I became born again at the age of 17, okay, and I can tell you that I've backslidden a few times, maybe 3 times. I'm not going to lie about it. That's a fact. There's no point in me lying about it. Maybe about 3 times that I say I have backslidden, and that I did backslide, and I just know that's me. See, I don't pretend. This is how I feel about it. I am a very open person. There's been times when I've been like, I don't do born again thing anymore. I have had times like that, you know, but I'm not the standard. I am not the standard. Jesus is the standard, not your pastor. Jesus is the standard. And in this video, I want to bring people's attention, because what a lot of these so-called men of God have succeeded in doing is diverting people's attention from what true Christianity is about. Our Christianity is not about worldly things or earthly things. I'm not going to come here and deny God has been good to me. I'm not the richest person in the world. If I tell you guys, you know, how I got to where I am today, I can't say because I'm the one that worked hard the most, you know, because I'm the most hardworking. You know, it's not that I'm the most hard-working person, or no, it is by the grace of God. I have worked hard. I'm not going to deny, you know, I went through hell to go into life. I have suffered, but I'm going to be honest and say where I am today, the comfort that I have today, it is the grace of God. To a great extent, you see, you shall, bye. I need to end this video. I need to end this video here. You know, when some people think because we make YouTube videos that we have too much spare time, it's a lie. We find the time to make YouTube videos. Some of you do not know me, you only know me from YouTube. Some people that know me from Facebook from 10 years ago will tell you that a lot of these things, I have been talking about them ages ago. And some people say because YouTube is paying you. Good, YouTube pays, but at the end of the day, you know, Facebook didn't pay me a cent, but I talked about it on my profile. Even when I had only 100 followers on Facebook, you know, 100 friends on Facebook, I have been talking about this. I've lost friends and I've gained friends because of being vocal about these things. When I came to YouTube, I didn't know YouTube was a monetized platform. You know, some people that feel like, oh, if the YouTube is not paying, you will not do it. It's a lie. I personally will still talk about what I want to talk about. Some people may not, but I will, okay? And some of you may not realize not every YouTube channel is actually monetized. There are some YouTube channels that discuss these things and they are not monetized. And let me tell you, and that I want to say, I don't want anybody to ever feel like, oh, because you know, because of what people are saying, I'm not going to monetize my videos. If you don't want to, don't ever think you have to do that. Let me tell you, if you do not want to monetize your videos, it's a waste. It's a waste because the money is there. YouTube will give it to you. But you know, it's all about the money. If you don't want to do it, you can monetize, take the money and give it to charity if you want, because the money is there. YouTube is still going to pay, you know, according to how much ads they put on your video. If you don't want to take the money, give it to charity. But let me tell you, YouTubers have to, the camera I'm using right now to film this video is about 700 and something euros. Okay, computer that I have to use to edit this video, use the internet to upload these videos. People invest so much of themselves to make these videos. So because YouTube then gives them something that kind of maybe covers the cost, whatever, does not mean that they don't mean what they are saying. I'm not saying people come and say, let me tell you, it's important. At the end of the day, whatever amount, if you don't want to monetize the video, that's fine. That's a choice. Some people do not. I know channels are not monetized, and not every video is monetized. Not every video. Those of you that are doing YouTube, don't ever let anybody make you feel like you don't have to monetize your videos. Monetize your videos, get the money and give it to charity. There are a lot of people back home in Nigeria that will need your help. I sent money recently to a remote village and they're still having problems to collect the money and everything. And I was thinking about what actually came to my mind is how this will live in such a remote village that they still have to travel. It's like going from, how will I say, it's going from mainland all the way to Ikorodu to go to the nearest bank in Nigeria to collect money. This is showing you the poverty in Nigeria. Don't say because people are speaking that but you should not monetize your video. That is a big waste. Monetize your videos. If you have to give the money to the poor somewhere else, do it. There's so much poverty in the world, and that is the country where there are churches in every single place. There are churches even in the most remote villages, and these people are poverty in our land. Poverty in our land. I don't want to make this too long. I really have to run now because I'm getting too many phone calls. You know, so I'm going to say this. I want, in this video, at the end of the day, what is there for you to take? I want you to take away something. What does happiness really mean? Don't let private jet and flashy life. There's several cars and several houses. And by the way, Suleman made a video and he addressed my video that I made about his birthday. Yes, he did. We're going to be talking about that some other time. I don't know, maybe I should start doing live videos because sometimes I don't have the time to film and edit, and I'm doing my best, really. And he addressed my video, and I had some interesting things to say in that video. And I told you guys they watch our videos, but you know, people don't believe all these things. And what else I want to say? So don't let other people's flashy life or whatever. I'm comfortable. I cannot lie. I'm not stinkily rich, but I thank God because of what he said, that he will supply my needs. And I can say honestly that God is supplying my needs at the moment. I want to bring back the topic. I want to end this video by talking about the real meaning of happiness. I just want to remind you guys, there are some people that are stinkily rich, but they do not sleep well at night. And there's somebody sleeping in face me and face you, and they sleep like a baby, and they are the happiest people in the world. It does happen. I'm not saying poverty is a good thing, but I want people to be careful about looking at money as the only source of, you know, wealth, and all these several cars or whatever as the only you know, as the ultimate. I just want to make money is not everything. Money is good, but it's not everything. I want to make videos to start telling people about what really matters in life. For example, like I said, a comfortable bed to sleep in if you can afford it. I used to sleep, you know, Suleman was talking about people that life has dealt with. I am example. I'm going to keep saying that now that I know that's something he wants to make fun of. This is supposed to be a man of God. Our life has dealt with me. I remember when I moved to Lagos, eventually I was struggling. I couldn't pay my rent in town in Yaba side. I couldn't afford to pay the rent. It was so expensive, and I moved to Ikorodu. When I say Ikorodu, I'm talking about 19-20 years ago. When I moved to Ikorodu was still a village. Ikorodu was still a village, and I rented this one room because that's what I could afford, and I lived in this one room, and I can never forget, I was sleeping on a mat. Okay, that was all I had. I didn't have a pillow. I remember the first time I bought a pillow. That was such a happy day in my life. It was such a happy day in my life. A pillow. First time I bought a pillow, I was so happy. My life changed. I was sleeping on a mat, and I'll never forget, I developed dark patches. Because wherever I lie, this arm or this arm, both of them had black patch here, because that's what happens, because the skin is open against the ground all the time on the mat, and it gave me a black patch here and a black patch here. I developed black patch on my hips, both sides of my hip, because I was sleeping, basically mat was like sleeping on the floor. He's talking about people life has dealt with. Life has dealt with me, and that's when I compare where I'm coming from and to where I am today, it's like massive difference. And because thank God I have experienced both lives, I know what happiness means. The tiniest little things can be happiness. I want people to start thinking about what real happiness means. It's not really money. There are some. Did you see that? Did you see the bee? Did you see the bee? Sorry guys, you know, when the bees come, that is how they pollinate your plants, and that is how your garden becomes more, you know, flowery and everything. I don't want to make it leave. Can you see it? Oh, I don't want to chase it away. Where? Can you see? Oh my God, can you see the bee? You see that? Can you guys see that? Oh my goodness. Can you see it? Oh, sorry, I think I've gone off. You know, sorry guys, I got a bit excited, but I actually really want to talk about finding happiness in things that are not necessarily money. I know there are some people back home that is impossible for them to be in that place because of abject poverty. I know what I mean. There are some people that are in that situation, and that is why I get angry about this corruption in our country, where some people that take what belongs to the majority and they spend it on themselves and their family and better the life of their families, while there's so many poor people among them. And I just wanted to actually just talk about how, apart from those people that are real abject poverty, I really want to be able to begin to channel people's minds and thinking into understanding that, you know, sometimes don't make excess wealth, that's it, excess wealth, you know, don't see excess wealth as the source of happiness. No, begin to find happiness in things that not money can buy, if that makes sense. Do you know that, you know, some people talk about Solomon was so rich, but do you know what Solomon said at the end? With all his wealth and everything he had, at the end of the day, what did Solomon say? Solomon said in Ecclesiastes 1 verse 2, he said, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What does man gain by all the toil of which he toils under the sun? A generation goes and a generation comes, but the earth remains. No, this is Solomon. Of all his wealth and with his wisdom, what did he say? All is vanity at the end of the day. And with that, I'm just going to say thank you all for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.